Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another game of the Immortal Invitational for Fury of Dracula. In this one, we've got WcKaczek playing as the Hunters, representing Team High Lords of Low Waters, and we've got Gio representing El Granges Day, my teammate. Zombie Compan, let's go. And in the commentary booth with me, we've got Roscoe as well. Evening, Roscoe.
Good evening. Hello. Yeah, my blood pressure's just returned to normal after Snuff's win the other night, so I should be calm enough to commentate on this.
Brilliant. Great to have you here as always. It's been a little while. Hey,
Yeah.
Aruk in the stream. Hello, hello. Aruk, can you hear us? I assume so. I mean, that's a bit silly me asking because you won't be able to hear this if you I assume he will mention something if he can't hear us. Everything okay with the audio, Aruk? I hope so. Exactly. We had the live stream memes. Green to the commentators. Excellent. We can hear. Right. So yeah, this live stream, Aruk, you might have to do a little bit of yeah, we're hoping for a good match too. Obviously, we want a good game, but I also want my man, Gio, to win, of course. We want to maintain on top spot, especially since second and third are playing each other this week, so we want to take advantage of any slip-ups from them. Gio's been in good form. Okay, Valona and Klausenberg. Excellent stuff. Good, yeah, that's it. It's just us two. The dream team. You don't need any more Scots in here. We mental.
Oh yeah, no, we'd start a fight with each other.
Damn Scots. They ruined Scotland. Yeah. So yeah, Rook, you might have to be in charge of the chat for a little bit. No pressure. Basically, I have to go AFK for a bit because I haven't had my dinner. I've literally just run in from work. So, and also, I should say hello to my wife. Poor wife, she's been abandoned. She'll be really gutted about it. So, I'm just gonna step away for a little while, have my dinner, say hi to the wife, chat a bit, and then I'll be back. But Roscoe's going to be in charge. I know it's a big responsibility for you, Roscoe. Do you think you can entertain the people?
Well, I mean, some would say this is what the channel's been waiting for, but that's fine. No, I shall keep helm. I shall, as I said, yeah, I can't check the chat or respond because I'm not on the YouTube. But I will be commentating on what happens. Likewise, I think for this game I will have to support Geo, just because of how the table's standing. If a WcKaczek loss for them would be beneficial for us. So yeah, it's a full Geo house tonight from this side, and yeah, I'll be guiding us through until you return.
This game makes very strange bedfellows. You might want someone to lose one week, and then you want them to win instantly the next week. It's just really funny. Oh, there's a heavily host on Mina. Yep, so Rook, you're going to have to be in charge of the live stream chat. If someone comes in and is like, why isn't Roscoe interacting with us? Just explain that Roscoe can't see the chat. I will be back at some point in the near future once all the boring week 1 stuff is done.
We'll see you on week 3 then, Scott Sword. Yeah.
I'll be here for the finale. Right. I'll be back in a bit. Take care. Any bugs, just ping me on my phone.
Right, okay. So yeah, here we go. Welcome everybody. Aruk, as Scott said, you're in the chat. Hello. Anybody else that joins, as said, unfortunately I can't see you at the moment, but we will come back. I shall be doing my best to guide you through these games. Obviously you're watching it, so that's fine, but I'll give you my perspective for what it's worth. So yeah, looking at it, let's get started. As we said, due to how the table stands and how my team with Snuffleupagus is set, I will have to support Geo this evening. A win for them, or rather a loss for the WcKaczek, would benefit our position. So purely for this game, I shall be flying the España flag. So yeah, we've got the setup there. Godalming in Seward, Van Helsing in London, Mina in Madrid. It'll be interesting to see whether, I know a couple of Dracula games in the past where Mina's been in Madrid, that Dracula's started around or near her, with a view that perhaps she can be taken out of the game by combat or items, hoping that the other hunters can get to her in time. So we'll see whether that's the case. Certainly Godalming and Seward are a strong pair over in the east. Especially if they both get fast horses, then Baltica doesn't really Oh, second highest scouts. Ah, okay. Well, that's as they say, game on. So yeah, that'll be interesting. So we'll have a look and see. That's a non-start, but no hide card. So again, far enough away from Godalming and Stewart at the moment. Mina will have to look at whether to move off or stay there. Of course, Dracula could be trying to head south while she heads north and allow Spain to fill up. Again, there's always the argument about or debate where Dracula is found early. Is that good or bad? Well, I mean, it really does depend on what items and events the hunters have. If they've been lucky, I mean, we see, for example, Mina's already showing a heavenly host and blood transfusion, so you know she's a very dangerous hunter with that event card. So yeah, I think again, no hide or nonce, which would make you think that again is it a hoax perhaps or something else. But we found this early. Obviously, it does hinder Dracula slightly because they know where he started and they could try and triangulate where he may be going to. But no need to panic as Dracula. No need to panic. They haven't. The chances are you'd have to imagine that if there aren't any horses out, and horse economy may not even be set up yet properly, Godalming and Stewart are that one step further away in Vienna. So if they don't have fast horses, they can only use rail. Which again raises the question, does Dracula try and stay Central Europe with his travel, perhaps staying off the rail lines? And if Stewart and Godalming go north and south as a pincer movement, then there's a chance that Dracula could slip in between them. So we'll wait and see. Obviously, for the chat, Scotsword's not going to be able to dip into the discard pile, but I can. I'll go in regularly and just give updates on any salient points or cards that have been discarded. So you at home can stay up with who's got what. And we'll have a look and see. Discarding Holy Bullets for Van Helsing. Yep, that's fine. We have here, what's Mina going to do? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dracula event cards in the discard event. You'd imagine if nonce is a hoax, it is reachable, certainly by Mina and Van Helsing if he's got an excellent weather. So it may not trigger. And it just really depends how Geo wants to play. I think actually this may be, from certainly the games I've watched with Geo, he has been fortunate that he hasn't been found in the first week this early. Most of the games, I think the one against Pizza Wizard, he may have been found earlier, but most of the games he's kind of got to the 5th day, and then he's managed to get a rumor token mature. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to this for being found early, and what his gameplay is. Obviously, Dracula's strategy is somewhat reactive, depending on what the hunters do, what they draw, and of course when Dracula is found. So I hope you're all well in the chat. If there's more than one, again, apologies, I'm flying blind at the moment on the chat, but welcome those that are here. Aruk, great to have you with us. And yeah, it should be an interesting game. There's 2 weeks left after this, so we're closing in on the end of the tournament. And it's been a great one. It's been the first time, for those that aren't aware, it's been the first time it's been a tag team tournament, which I've enjoyed. It takes some of the pressure off each player. You only play half the games. But again, it can also add pressure because now the game historically has been one player relying on themselves. And now they're looking at, okay, the teammates have to help each other out when they have to. So a lot of different change to dynamics here. I mean, as we've seen, I'll say this because Scott Sword's away and you'll see it back on the recording. I mean, Gio's been helping Scott Sword. He's basically dragged him through this tournament. Scott Sword has lost three matches, I think, as hunters. 2 to me. I'll just put that out there. And 1 to Fangs. 1 to Fangs? Yes, 1 to Fangs. So, yeah, all the teams have been pretty much helping each other do what they can to get the best result. So interestingly, nobody's moved yet. Still supplying. I mean, they're discarding a lot of information. What's in the discard item pile? 2 crosses, 2 garlic, 2 holy bullets, 2 pistols. What is this? Noah's Ark. So yeah, this will be interesting to see. Okay, yeah, Van Helsing's making his move. He is leaving his nursing retirement home in London. Mina's going to go up to Bordeaux, one would assume. Now, has he come south? He hasn't. Okay. Now, this could be interesting. This could be laying down something dangerous for Van Helsing to land on in Le Havre. Whether it might be a delay, if it's a hide as well as a rumour. The problem with that would be a delay wouldn't actually stop that rumour token from being addressed by the hunters. It's a bit too early in the week for that. Even if it was a fog, they'd still manage to check it before it finishes. So it'll be interesting to see. Roscoe's prediction for this, I think from Nantes you would go to Clermont-Ferrand, you would go to Toulouse, and maybe hide in Toulouse or get down maybe into Barcelona. And now Mina's gone, you can start going into Spain, lay some trail down there as well, and it allows you enough time to make it difficult for them. Assuming you'd have to assume that perhaps this rumour token won't mature, if indeed it is a vampire. He may be doing something I sort of like doing is just throwing down a rumour token to bait hunters to, they have to deal with it. So it could be anything. It's always nice throwing a rumour token on rats and just watch them all run to it. And then they reveal it and, oh, okay, it's a rat. But Geo does tend to play a rumour token when he has a vampire. So it'll be interesting to see what he has done here. I guess the other thing was, Mina's going to check nods tomorrow. I was going to say if that was I think that's going to mature before the rumour token comes off. So be interesting to see. I will say I'll take the time on the mic myself to again congratulate my partner Snuffleupagus in his match against Fangs. If you haven't watched it, go to JB Philly managed to record it. We had some technical errors in the first 2 takes. The game crashed, but it was well worth staying around. I think I got to bed about 1:30 in the morning by the time it finished, but it was well worth staying around for, so well worth a watch. Spoiler, who's won that, but certainly the game was back and forward, as most of these games have been. Nothing simple this year. If you drop your focus or you assume you've won, unless, of course, it's evident that you're going to win, you can lose the game very quickly. So yeah, you've got to be on point every time with this. Godalming and Sword still not moved, which is understandable. They may be sitting there with a view to deterring Dracula from going east. You don't really want to jump into them. Okay, Godalming's making the move. Fast horses on Seward, but no horse economy. Perhaps right at the moment. Just the one for Seward. Still nothing. Right, okay, that's me. Yep, that's good. That's good. He's checked. He's gone the clip. Okay, so it was the right list. Now he knows that Mina's got the Heavenly Host. Does she have a stake? If not, at which point will she play the Heavenly Host? And can he manage? This could be a nice little victory if he manages to fang at the right time. Or Mina may try to escape and use a stake. So we'll wait and see. Okay, there's one fang baited. So, yeah. It'll determine whether Mina has got a stake or not if she tries to escape, or if she wants to try and bait out both the fangs and then just play the Heavenly Host. There's the second fangs. Okay, right, okay, well, we'll assume that she has a stake. Yeah, okay, WcKaczek says he's lucky there. There's 1 point for Dracula. Okay, so And again, I have to get my mindset. My mindset always follows Dracula. I pretty much always play as Dracula, so my mindset is to always support him and think from him. But I've got to think about what hunters would be doing as well for this. So yeah, there's still time for Clermont-Ferrand if Mina hasn't got a stake. Of course, now she's in a small town, so she won't be able to supply and get a stake if she hasn't got one. There aren't any in the. Let me just check. There isn't. Before I say nope, no stakes discarded. So if there are any out there, that'll be there. Of course, it may be that Van Helsing. Oh, she has. Oh well, that's it. That's fine. That's answered that question. Okay, the Reckless is gone, the Rumour is gone, and a stake is gone. But Drac did get 1 point off that, so well, the best outcome you can hope from there. Nonce, they know, has to be addressed now. It may well be a hoax. I don't think a delay card there would have benefited getting away from Clermont, especially not hiding in Clermont-Ferrand. So that's interesting. He hasn't hidden, so he is 3 away from there. I was going to ask the chat what you think, but certainly put your comments in, and Scott's will bring it back. I think he'll be going into Spain. Van Helsing now being in the UK, sorry, I beg your pardon, in France, Gallia, and on the rail line, Mina and Van Helsing can check Iberia pretty quick. Alternatively, she could jump to 24, match up with Seward, and do a check on Italy. So 2 areas to do a psychic bond just to view where he's gone. Having the hunters on the mainland this quick makes it slightly more problematic for Dracula. He does have his wolf form though, so if it does get difficult, he can slink past them. Darling supplying. Okay, well, that's another holy bullet's gone. Horse economy, is it up to speed? Yes, okay. Good. Right, okay, so he's gone Geneva. Now, did he go Geneva, Marseille, Toulouse and back in? Or, I mean, now he could, while they've jumped across, he could have gone. Of course, that's the thing, we're not having Godalming and Mina together. They could have psychic bond and checked Germany. But he could have gone Nuremberg, Prague, and then be effectively, while they go east, while they go west, he goes east. Okay, well, that's ruled there. Now, nobody's checked Paris yet, so he could well have gone Geneva, Paris, and going North Germany. Perhaps with a view, because Van Helsing's now left, that the UK does open. Of course, there's always the threat of CG, but there's the dogs. What's there? An aristocratic. Okay, well, dogs won't help you with that. They may gnaw on a bone, but that's all they're going to do. Dogs on Van Helsing. Okay, well, that worked this time. Okay, the dogs came through. Yeah, interesting. Dogs on both. JP Philly will be proud. Yes, yep. Fan of the kennels. So 50% of the trail has now been cleared. They can pretty much write off that Dracula hasn't gone into Iberia. He would have to have Clermont-Ferrand was on the trail. He then went east to Geneva. He didn't go to Marseille, and he wouldn't be able to get there from going north because Nonce is on the table. So he may be trying to go into the boot, or he's in northern Germany. Seward being delayed helps somewhat, in as much as does it. I mean, he's delayed at night, so yeah. Okay. Let's see. Nonce is now a layer. That's fine. Interestingly, no events. The hunters have been travelling, so they're not getting through the item deck as much. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3. 3 holy bullets now there, and of course that stake is now gone. There is one. Is there one dog? One dog's in there. Yeah, one dog in the discard, obviously. 4. So now there's still no wolf form. Okay. So Dracula, would you'd assume, is comfortable where he is, that he doesn't need to wolf form yet. Okay. Of course, yeah. Seward checked tonight, so Seward is deleted. Yeah, that's fine. All the guns getting discarded. No fans of the RRL here tonight. They're all getting thrown in the discard pile. It's a rifle amnesty in Europe. Okay, ruled out Paris. So, yeah, definitely going south or has gone north. And I think from Geneva to go south, you'd have to then do Zurich, Milan, 57. It's quite a convoluted way just to get down into Italy. I think he's going north with a view to jump ship and do the old Captain Drax Sparrow. What's he done with the... Okay, there's a phone. Van Helsing got anything to swap around? Is he going to trade anything? Okay. Mina still holding on to that blood transfusion. Quite right. That could save her. That could save her somehow. Blood transfusion, good luck and long night, and she is cooled up. Nothing's going to get her. Okay, second layer. Yep, here we go. The other problem with this is, I mean, we see some of the players that are very efficient at using their layers. You've got Nons and Clermont-Ferrand, which are good. They're central. There's a chance Dracula can circulate back to them. But you're not going to do that when you've got 4 hunters effectively hanging around waiting for that. So he's going to have to go a bit of a distance away to try and get back round to them. But they may well be there in the future. You can get around Clermont-Ferrand. The problem is Nons and Clermont-Ferrand, but of course, they're both not on rail lines. There's no main traffic goes through them. You're not going to go through Nons, so you don't need to. So unfortunately, they probably won't get triggered by the hunters. Because you can just rail around it, or you can just go along the south coast of France. Is he going to wolf form now? I think it'll either be a wolf form, or we're going to see a seat. Nope. Geo is proving my commentary academic because he's done neither. Now, you may be thinking that only Stewart has shown fast horses, so he may be relying on the fact the other hunters don't really have much efficient movement. But of course, they may be hiding. Aha! Okay, Nuremberg. So he could have been Prague and could be in 58 by now, with a view to perhaps wolf form from 58. Sue's got his fast horses, but he can only get to Munich, which is where get down left. Oh, a hide in Strasbourg. Right, okay. So if Drac has done the 44-58, then he must have been sweating blood that night in case CG got thrown down. But again, they didn't know where he was. But yeah, that little Prague corridor is a bit of a death trap should CG get thrown down, but he's got through it. Wolves. Okay. In the hide. What's Stewart going to show? Is he going to reveal the items he got? Again, with Stewart, you could probably show one item. Ah, of course, he's still got his dogs. Dogs takes out wolves. Yeah, apparently that's the order of survival in the wild. A Jack Terrier will always take out a timber wolf. Yeah, of course, I've seen that on many a nature channel. And next week, Tuna will take out orcas. But for now, we're back to Dracula. Okay. Mina, is she going to move? Is she going to supply? Perhaps hook up with Van Helsing? Not in that sense, of course. That age gap is disgusting, but she might want to go there and just do some supplying. Reveals a fast horse, okay. And she's off. And she has good movement. All right. Yep, so now she can psychic bond Germany just to see if he has gone north from there. That makes sense. Interestingly, didn't ambush either with Romina when she landed in Nuremberg, so maybe something that's going to hit them both when they supply at night. Still sitting there. Oh, right, okay. An inland fog. There must have been a heavy har on the North Sea and it's managed to drift its way down. Rifle. Okay. Wow. Hunters are really burning through this trail. You'd have to assume Dracula's opening hand hasn't been the best with the cards he's been throwing down. So what's he threw down a spy, he threw down bodyguards, wolves. Yeah, a fog. And a fog at this stage. But it does delay them, so if he is in 58 now, I guess he can move one more and then look to wolf form away. He's not in Germany. Right. Okay. And I think the way the cards have gone, Godalming had left Munich before. No, he would have had to have gone to Munich and Godalming would have been there. So yeah, I think he's done the 44, 58. Yeah. Or perhaps, perhaps not. I mean, 60 wasn't checked. I'm just checking there. Yeah, I've just been at it because, of course, there's no. Yeah, you can't walk from. Yeah, I think he's done. Yeah, he must have just gone. Yeah, he must have just gone 44, 58 just to free him up. I hope my ramblings don't sound as rambling as they are when I don't often know what's coming out of my mouth, so you'll just have to bear with me. WcKaczek keep getting disconnected message for some reason. Yeah, I had that in a game the other night. It comes up saying connection timed out and then pops you back up again. I think it's just maybe dips in the server or the Wi-Fi or something. But those that know me, there you go. There's the rule form. Okay. Shut up, Ross. Stop talking about irrelevant things and talk about the game. So, a rule form 58 is fine. It gets them a good bit of distance. Taming and Mina will be trapped in there, so Prague needs to get checked. Stewart has got fast horses, but Nuremberg's blocked, so you'll have to go. You'll have to wait where he is, or he can horse to Munich just now. The Godalming, I mean, I can pick up on that. So yeah, it's a bit telegraphed where Dracula's gone, but to be fair, he's had to go that way. The hunters have almost herded him slightly like the sheep to the slaughter. They were on him pretty quick. Managed to close a net around him. Two of them we know have got fast horses, but no economy. Okay. You've got to love a lame horse now and then. That's good. That's good to see. Van Helsing, what's he going to do? Is he going to just plant roots in Paris and distribute cards, or is he going to join the fund? Of course, no, he can't, because he could have put Prague and then Berlin, but he wasn't in Germania, so okay. Well, they're making a nice boundary to stop Dracula getting back into the west, that's for sure. Of course, they can't stay there all the time, and the more he goes into the east, the more trail he can lay down as well, so... There's a trade, Gadaming and Mina. Yeah, of course, she dropped her stake when she took out the Reckless, so we may be handing her over some gifts. He's the Lord, so he has plenty of gifts to distribute to those fair maidens around him. Trying to woo her with his charms. How very dare you, sir? Dracula isn't in Germany? Nope, he's still not there. He's still not there. And Mina's still holding on a blood transfusion. She loves her life fluid, and she doesn't want to lose it. Okay, track, sliding the trail. Yeah, the hunters have got time. They know a hide's been used, so they know that there's only one item on 44. There's no need to rush into it. If they have stakes, especially, they don't have to worry about it. There's been a reckless and an aristocratic, so they don't have to concern themselves too much. Let's just check Dracula's one. Yeah, I mean, his hand. He's laid the reckless, aristocratic, a spy, wolves, fog, and then bodyguard. So it's kind of playing what you have, playing what you're given. There's the danger for this means that you can have a lot more fighter hunters later in the game, which is really when you want. If you can throw down a few and stick down a couple of rumor tokens, the hunters have gone through their weapons, they may have been damaged, health is down, and then they've got to face it. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to face that. So, you obviously you can't check the chats because Scotsaw's not doing it. There's nothing in there of relevance to the game, so don't worry, you're not missing anything there. Roscoe will guide you. I'll be your eyes and your ears for this. Well, no, you can see it. Well, no, you can hear it. I'll just be here giving you moral support whenever you need it. How are you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good week. It's Friday tomorrow, so it's nearly the weekend. And I hope you're doing well. Drop a like and subscribe if you want to join Scotsaw's channel. Sometimes you hear more of my inane talking in games. Sometimes you'll see my games. Sometimes you'll see some of my matches against Scotsaw when I beat him, which is always fun to see. Everyone knows that. Scotsaw's a pillar in the Discord community, but everyone likes to see him get beat, don't we? So yeah, that's always good. What do the hunters do? So, okay. Now this is interesting. Let me just check and see. Yeah, okay, so Godalming, Seward, and Mina all have fast horses. And it seems they've got their movement tied up as well now. He will come from Vienna, as I suggested he would. I mean, there was nowhere else he really could go, so it's hardly the Enigma code. I just said what was common sense, really, which is a rarity. It comes to me sometimes, but not always. Dogs, he's got rid of the dogs. His permit has expired. He doesn't want the dog warden coming around and taking them away in the back of the wagon, so he's let them run free. Run free and terrorize the streets of Milan. The Italian rats. I mean, the rats in Italy, not Italians are rats. Please don't cancel me. Okay, aristocratic, another one. Delayed. Okay, that's fine. That'll delay a fast horse, which is good. Seward has stayed. He's still that one away. Does Mina check Prague tonight? Two aristocratic are there, so you'd imagine, okay, well, is it worth the risk to check it at night? Hope it's not a vampire, but it could be a new vampire, then all of a sudden she could be in trouble. We know she's holding on to Heavenly Host. But again, a new vampire, it doesn't have the same effect. You play it, you're 4, but they've still got the 2 health. They can very quickly gain that health back, and you've just wasted an important card. Another stake. And a hoax, okay? Well, this trail is, I've got to say, is being tidied up very efficiently. I mean, this is This is getting cleaned up quicker than Mrs. Doubtfire on steroids. This is fantastic. The hunters will be happy with this. And of course, the layers are getting matured, but the layers are going to be further and further east, which is not a bad idea. For those east, his layers are still Nods, Clermont-Ferrand, and Strasbourg. But yeah, he's got a nice little barrage. You can start updating them. Especially as you'd imagine at some point he may want to return west, and then the hunters have to go through those layers. And being found that early, of course, he never had the chance to dark call. If he did have a bad opening hand, he's not had the time to do a dark call and then feed and then carry on. So,
Oi, oi, what have I missed?
oh well, do you know what? I was having a good. Anyway, as I was saying, guys, Scott Stodd is probably the best YouTuber on the platform, and anything that's been said is completely inflammatory, and defamation of character will not be condemned. So,
I see.
well, I don't know who's in the chat, mate. I don't know if I've been speaking to them in the
let's
chat. I don't know if
see.
there's anyone there.
Aruk is still here, keeping things in order. Hello, Aruk. Strider is here. Yeah, I'm back, Strider. Quincy is here. Hello, Quincy. I think that's all for now. There might be some other people lurking, but that's fine. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff in the chat. Goodness me.
Well, maybe I've been asking questions. What, you mean the in-game chat, or do you mean
Oh,
YouTube?
no, in-game chat, it's fine. Nothing really.
Yeah, no, so there's nothing relevant there. No, I checked that for them. Don't worry, I kept them up to speed. So yeah, just a very quick one. Nods was found on day 3. So Drax's been up against it from pretty much the start, and since then it's been the hunters just chasing him down. That's been it. That's been the...
Because this is probably the first type of game where Geo's had to deal with that. Even in the game against Pizza Wizard and who's the other one? Randiv, and I think he managed to get points early. I think this might be the first. I think I'm forgetting the games now. This is the problem.
Well, don't you listen, Scott? So don't you worry, my friend, because I've covered that. I did say this is probably the first one of Geo's first games, or certainly the ones I've watched, where he's not managed to get through pretty much the first week and had a rumor token mature. It's for him to be found this early, and he didn't hide the nonce, so there's not been any. He threw a fog down in Nuremberg, so I think it's been kind of just throwing stuff out of his magic case and hoping that something will stick. But yeah, it'd be the first time that he's actually had to be up against it from the start. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if, as a sensei, if you've done any training for an early reveal.
Yeah. We've done bits and pieces. We did a couple of practice games. He was testing his limits with Dracula, which is kind of a good thing to do. So I'm just seeing, he's wolf form from Vienna. Is there any way he could have wolf form west? I assume not. I assume WcKaczek's checked everything, especially since the chat is saying, it's Athens, so...
Yeah, he kept Seward in 60 to prevent that aspect. Van Helsing was in Milan, and obviously Van Helsing's now gone to Venice. So, yeah, when he moved from 58, he could only have gone east.
Oh, there's a fog in the discard pile. How did that happen? Was that behind the veil?
No, I was saying he placed fog in Nuremberg.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Okay, right, interesting. Oh, he must have felt really under pressure then, if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I think he's basically just throwing stuff out. He did trap Godalming and Mina in it, so it gave him an extra day to move, because both Godalming and Mina have got fast horses along with Seward, so it delayed them for that extra day. But
decent.
Yeah, doing the Prague, he would have been sweating a bit that there wasn't an early CG found. But again, they didn't know where he was, but he managed to get out of that corridor. But I mean, all 3 hunters are pretty much heading east now, so it does open it up for him to get back west. But they've really been clearing the trail up. There's not been anything really on the trail that's been off issue. Mina faced a Reckless in Clermont-Ferrand. Drac got the 1 bite off, which is the 1 point, and then she staked him. And she just staked the Hoax in Prague.
Has it been rumour tokens used, or has Geo saved them?
1 rumour token was on the Reckless in Clermont, but again, that was revealed and dealt with, so...
Okay. Alright then. And then there's no more since then, so you have a couple more in the bank. You have 1 more now, and then 1 in a couple of days, so... Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's it, yeah. I mean, he's only shown 1 fighting vampire, the Reckless. He's played 2 aristocratic. So again, as I was saying, there's always a tactic where you wait until late game, throw down the hunters, throw down the fighting vamps with the rumours. Because they burnt... both the stakes burnt have been Mina actually. She the one on the Reckless and the one on the Hoax.
And they haven't. Sorry, they haven't got through the whole item deck yet either, so there might be a couple
No,
of stakes still
no.
in there. If he goes into these extremity locations in the east, he could probably throw down quite a lot of vampires. It'll be quite hard to deal with if they haven't got the stakes, and even just keep them occupied for a long time.
Interestingly as well, you'll notice in the discard pile there's 2 discarded dogs. They were actually on Seward and Van Helsing. Van Helsing took out a spy in Nantes with the dogs,
Oh
and
wow!
Seward took out a wolves in Geneva with the dogs. So
Goodness me!
you'll see the comment from WcKaczek was JB Philly will be proud, and that was when he used the
Oh,
dog.
right. That's what it's in reference to. Okay, right. So all of them are in the discard pile, but 2 of them are actually used to deal with encounters. Okay, that's pretty good for WcKaczek then, if that's the case. Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, especially on discarding a spy was handy. He didn't have to lose anything from there, and he kept his dogs because it was jumped on, so he had that for an extra round.
Very good.
Oh wow! Okay, well he's pulled the trigger quick.
Oh
He
my
seemed to
good. Oh goodness me.
this. So wow, okay.
Come on, Gio.
Three hunters with fast horses, all primed. They've just got to find them. Okay, so he's going to check below.
An excellent weather. Oh my goodness! If he doesn't survive this. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this is bad.
I mean, you come back, and it all goes wrong for him. But now,
Oh, Christ. That's
the hunters have to roll. The hunters have to roll good to get here. So there's not the chance unless it's sense of emergency. But
they will though, right? He has to be set up with his economy. I assume he is.
well, Seward's had a couple of ones with horses, so it's not been.
Oh,
It's still been there.
He's gonna take so much damage though from this.
Especially, well, I mean, especially if one of them are sitting about with a heroic leap, they might decide just to.
Oh my goodness! You gotta be so careful if you're moving 3 spaces away like this. Renewed vigor can kill you this way. I mean, what's he done? He wolf formed to Sarajevo, Sofia, Salonika, Valona. I assume is what he's done.
I mean, the chat were right. He was going towards Athens, which, to be fair, it was pretty forecast. I mean, that's the way he was going. As I said, I was mentioning the hunters pretty much herding him to go east. So, yeah, you know where he's going, but they didn't know exactly where to find him. So, moving Van Helsing, checking Valona is a good move with the Speedy Telegraph, and as you say, the hunters can now. The thing is, do they risk? I mean, they can't supply before they get there. They've got to just jump there with what they've got.
Yeah, so, Van Helsing could do a supply bits and a Drac event on top, unless they get a sense of emergency in the mix, which they might well have one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's not the place you want to get caught. You gotta be so careful. You're 3 away from hunters like this. Especially when you got like Van Helsing here for sense of emergency. Excellent weather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, it's a shame I'm not recording. Right? Is he being confident too early that he thinks he's going to jump on and win the game here?
Well, I don't know. He said the word shit, so maybe is there a bug or something?
Oh, perhaps. Oh, we don't want to start a Oh, better be a restart game on this.
I'm not going to respond to that unless there's something else.
I mean, you'd imagine he would have moved by now.
In fact, he didn't play Fog into Valona. He must have felt pretty confident about it. He's constantly.
Now, WcKaczek has been saying he's been getting timed out of this game quite a lot in this one. You know, when you get that connection server timeout.
Yeah.
So maybe he's had a little bit of issue here, but I've not seen a bug with Speedy Telegraph renewed vigor. So
no, that should be fixed. That should have been fixed.
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm just waiting for Gio because he could just die right now. Oh my goodness.
Oh, what's happening here in the chat? I'm afraid to click anything. I like a city seemingly can come back to Venice. What?
What?
I'm afraid to click anything.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I think it's in his own gameplay. I don't think it's a bug. I think he's just rambling.
Yeah, I like how G and I just put the same response.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you on about? maybe the pressure's getting to him. He knows that potentially if everything goes right, he can have a 4-on-1, but he's
Yeah.
just trying to up the drama before he does.
Oh,
Yeah,
for goodness me!
check it.
Oh, there's a bug apparently. Oh,
Oh no!
oh, Christ.
Can he just rejoin?
Don't know. Let me see. Bug reporting.
Mind message at the top of the screen.
Oh,
Evening
you gotta
feedback.
be kidding me. He's left the combat. Oh, he's stuck and it's trying to get Van Helsing to move by sea again. It's almost like X and Weather has not finalized.
I wonder if he was doing that. I wonder. There seems to be that. If he's been toggling out of Geo while he was in combat, the screens of
Oh.
kind of, if you're doing it too fast in and out. Maybe you can do a hard reset. It takes a bit longer. Maybe just a hard reset of the game, like come out of it, and it'll pick him back up when he comes back in.
Yeah, but the thing is, if it's like the one that we had last time with like this, I know it's a completely different bug, but it might be that the game just doesn't understand what he's doing. But at the moment, it looks like, and if you,
So can he move?
so literally, what the thing he's posted in the Discord is he's used X and Weather to get Van Helsing there, and now it's right, okay. It's trying to make him do X and Weather twice in a row.
Right.
Christ. Hang on. ST is active. Oh. You can't select another hunter.
Yeah.
If not, rejoin. Yeah. He has to try and rejoin.
I'm afraid this game will break at this point. I'm quite convinced I win, to be honest. Well,
I mean, he might, but
it's not. I mean, if the hunters were, all in Sarajevo, then yeah, I would give you that. But you've got 3 fast horses to move, unless you've got sense of emergency
2
on
sense
them.
of
But I think,
emergencies.
yeah, I don't think. I'm going to throw some controversy out there. Is this a ruse by WcKaczek to get a win? Well, the game's broken, but we'll just say that as a win for me.
This is a weird bug. I've never seen this one before. Yeah, we have no video footage. You just have to put in the profile. Yeah, it's the worst time for a bug. Oh, Christ almighty.
Do you think that's what the problem could be then? Because of this geo option, I've seen a few players kind of flipping in and out when combat's on the go and they're checking the map. I mean, you don't need to check the map when you're in combat, but folk are flipping back and forward. So do you think maybe it's just kicking the...
Because this is a bug that has never existed before. Whenever we've had event cards like X and Weather being used, they finalize properly. So it seems to be once the combat has ended, it doesn't seem to understand that it should be a different action.
Okay, let's see if I didn't jump the gun with my call. Right, he said it works, so he said he's back in here.
Okay, well that's all right then.
And he said to you, let's see if I didn't jump the gun with my call. Well, yeah, if you can play now.
Yeah, exactly. If he has 2 sense of emergencies, but then if they get beaten up quite a bit by they got renewed vigor, so they can heal with Seward if Seward gets in first.
Yeah.
Oh, he now can't change hold. Oh, for Christ almighty.
He's away again, so... Okay. Well, maybe the first rejoin has obviously settled that Van Helsing issue. The second one now might refresh the Speedy Telegraph, hopefully.
Maybe. Oh,
I mean, as much as anything else, it'd be a damn shame if this game was never reached, because my commentary has been world-class, and nobody's going to hear it.
Yeah, Quiz is saying, watch the game now work and Hunters lose.
Yeah. He rolls two ones on his first move as fast horses.
Oh, my goodness. That's very
Oh,
risky.
now
What
what?
Gio's
Right,
just
okay.
done. Okay, that's very
The
risky.
thing is, there is a full health new vampire sitting there, so it's not like they're going to be jumping in for any. You know,
Yeah.
with no, it's not like Van Helsing's cleared something and they can just jump on. They do have to face a battle, and the new vampire can do some damage to them just to weaken them up. All he's got to do is get an escape as bat on them.
Oh,
So,
well,
oh
never
well,
mind.
no.
If he stakes the vampire first.
Yeah, that's that. God. Okay,
Ugh.
right. Well, now, now it's all about if they can get to him.
Oh, that's a very risky move going to follow. That was very greedy. When you got
Oh,
Hunter's
Geo.
position like this, that is so
Yeah,
risky. I just...
I like that.
Yeah, hide in Salonica or you go to C. Even hiding in
Yeah,
Salonica is risky because you get excellent weather, normal move, and yeah, it's yeah, this
I
could
mean,
be
yeah,
really
you would have
nasty.
left a yeah, you would have left a trail of at least 3 or 4 they'd have to deal with and get back to sea. At least force 2 of them to check there, and you've only got 2 to face coming back. But
Yeah. That
as,
was
as we said,
very...
he's never faced this before, so this was his. What do you do when you're found early and you pressure on with hunters straight away? So
Yeah, you gotta be so careful. When you got the positioning like this, they're just asking to get renewed vigored.
no, I can't click cities with Gaddafi.
God.
Well, just fast horse and see if that gets. Oh, right, so I guess he's trying to fast horse, but he
Yeah,
can't
he's
click a
trying to
city.
force horse. He's trying to force horse to... Well, the only way this... Well, he's saying he's won. If Sarajevo's a bat, he could push Godalming back.
Yeah.
If he fogs Sarajevo, if it's... I don't imagine it being a fog, but just imagine it is a fog.
Yeah.
He could trap them. We can't really know that. I mean, obviously Gio could tell us, but...
I mean, the other thing as well is that he could have Sarajevoed and then hidden and then gone Sofia Valona. So there could be 2 things in there that could knock the, as you say, knock the hunters back.
Yeah.
Until he's landed on Valona, then if you know, or like we said, if he was 1 city away where it was guaranteed he could walk to Valona,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
you'd say, okay, a 4v1, yeah. But the hunters have still got to rely on fast horses, which, as long as there's yellow ones in the ticket, we've seen that. You know, that 1 in 11 is still a 1 in 11.
I assume he's got all the white ones, otherwise he wouldn't be. But then,
Yeah,
yeah, if he
yeah.
might roll a yellow one. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness me.
Well, this is
Oh,
this is
wait, where is Scott, Soda, and Roscoe? I am here. I think it's because the game started. Yeah, it's...
Oh, we can't. Oh, right. I see. You and I have disappeared from the spectator box. That's why.
No, it's just because of the way the thing was set up as the lobby, I think. We're definitely here, though. Oh my goodness. Christ almighty. Yeah, this is not a good one. After we had a nice little run with very few bugs.
I know. Yeah,
Oh no.
I'm a tad. Well, just right. What you do? Just get on with the game. This is when I think you're gonna have to you'll have to take his offside and
Yeah.
put your admin hat on and decide
Yeah.
whether you think if you can't do that, you're gonna have to debate. Well, take it offline and then find out what cards he's got, and then you can work out from there. You know, what are the odds and various other things. So that's
Yeah.
down to you and your fellow admins to decide.
Yeah. Yep. If need be, because I am Gio's teammate, we might have to get Philly and Snuff in just so there's no potential bias.
I think, yeah. I mean, now, it's only relying on movement now, and again, obviously, he can't move, which is the issue. But Van Helsing taking out the new vampire
That's
certainly
massive. Yeah.
removes any threat.
Oh.
So
Oh, I want him to save the log file. Oh my goodness, where is he in the chat?
I mean, at this stage, even 2 hunters on drag wouldn't be do some damage with them.
Yeah, 200 could kill, but very unlikely. But it's possible. The thing's also like too, like Dracula's got 14 health, so he is still quite healthy.
Yep.
Don't, Strider, don't you, I saw you rooting for WcKaczek. Don't you start.
Is that Pickle Francis jumping over the fence again? Is it?
I'm here, but not watching closely due to work. Yeah, it's okay. It's enough. Don't worry.
So let's see. He's trying to get back in again. Let's see now. He's left again. I mean, he did say that. Yeah, beginning of the game, he was mentioning there was a connection timeout issue, but I mean that's not related to this. This is a game. This is an in-game bug.
I don't think so. I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect it to be. Dracula's at 14.
Now there's still 8 cards in the item deck, so you'd imagine there's no guarantee that all the hunters have got heavenly hosts.
Yeah, and Quincy's
And
making a
there's been
good
a lot-
point, because even Dracula might lose, but he might manage to get a bite on a hunter or maybe kill Mina. I mean, it's difficult, but it's possible.
I mean, there's a lot of guns in the discard. So I mean, guns and holy bullets, you don't have to worry yourself about. You'd have to assume the hunters have got knives, heavenly hosts. So yeah. I mean, 2-on-1, I would take that, obviously, because it's better than a 4-on-1. Even a 3-on-1, you could try and do some damage with what they've got. I mean, Mina was sitting there. Mina's only got 1 item because she had that stake that she discarded. She did have a Heavenly Host early game, which she then swapped for fast horses. So if you know that Mina's got Heavenly Host, then that's someone you can target. That's knowledge for Dracula.
But she swapped it for fast horses. But does that mean that she is she still definitely holding on to the Heavenly Host?
Swapped it in as much as revealed fast horses when she got it but she was sitting on Heavenly Host from day 1.
But did the Heavenly Host get traded?
No, as far as I can remember, the only time she was with somebody, there was a trade with Godalming and Mina in Nuremberg when they were stuck in fog. So I don't know whether that's been taken off her and she's been given a conventional, and Godalming's been given a Heavenly Host and something else. I'm not sure. I mean, this could all be academic now anyway, because I don't think WcKaczek is going to come back. There seems to be issues when he's trying to log back in anyway, so...
He's also not understanding how to find the log file, which is making things harder. There's no ally in play. It's just renewed vigor and speed telegraph.
Yeah. Was there a ruling made that if I don't think this has happened before, where if it does turn out that it has to be a game that can't finish because of a bug, is there? I mean, do they get full points? Is it based on? I mean, how is there a ruling basically?
There is no fixed ruling, just because there are just too many permutations.
Yeah.
In the games I've been cut short with bugs so far, the 2 players will be able to negotiate an outcome that they think is sensible.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. It seems like there is some risk that horses wouldn't get all the hunters there. I mean, that's the problem. It's also a shame that WcKaczek's not recording, because I'm not saying he would lie. I'm not suggesting that, but it'd be, as an independent person, I could verify his ticket pool and his items. I mean, he could maybe take screenshots for me. But yeah, you add a Fangs to a Heavenly Host. It kills. I'm hypothesizing. You kill Mina, then that's points. Plus, then you've healed a little bit. You might still die to 3 hunters. It depends if you've got planned ambushes or not. Yeah. WcKaczek's trying to find the log file, because I want it.
If you look at what's in the events, there's not been many hunter cards discarded. We're down to 49 in the deck. So he's using excellent weather, he's using vigor, he's used speedy telegraph. Yeah, does he have... I'm trying to think if he had...
We've got a Sarajevo encounter we have to factor in. One's if it's a spy. So then WcKaczek has to choose between discarding tickets or getting rid of weapon. That could influence the fight, especially since he can escape round 3. He might be able to get out.
Yep.
He might be very low health, but he can get out. And we've seen it before, like the game between Quincy and WcKaczek in the previous tournament in the autumn. Quincy escaped on 1 HP, and WcKaczek... I mean, then look at the game that I played the other week, right? Or the other day. Fang's got out of a combat with 1 HP, and they ended up winning. You just don't know. I mean, the odds don't look good for Dracula. I would say if we... Probably more likely a Hunter victory, but you just don't know.
I think, yeah, as I was saying, the only thing, if the Hunters, let's say the last move, if the Hunters previously had fast horse and were sitting in, like I say, you know, right, we're back on the trail, so at least we're moving, that's something. The game will finish of its natural course, that's good.
Yeah, of course. You always want it that way.
Now, it depends whether you can get them all there. We shall see. Gio would have been sitting there praying to Jesus, hoping it's like, let's do it. Oh, right. So he's, okay.
Wait. Oh, so he did go to Sarajevo. What? Oh, he went Szeged and Belgrade and Sofia. Wow. Oh, but she's supplied though, so she can't heal. Okay, well. Oh, but that's actually very clever to get an item. Right. Good. Yeah, that's a good play. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, sense of emergency.
They've both got sense of emergency, right?
So they can all get there.
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, that was not a good move on his part to go to Valona.
However, it's almost like, yeah, now let's see if they play any cards here for the combat. If they don't, it's still open. Lucy's Revenge, right?
Goodness. Okay. Yeah, no, that's GG, surely, because Lucy's Revenge will stop him revealing round 3. No chance.
And a Garlic Wreath.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, well, okay, that's fine. The WcKaczek was correct.
Oh, another one.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, so my goodness.
There's no Fangers getting played. It's going to be Heavenly Hosts all over the place.
Yeah, and then if you mistime the Fangs on Mina, you're taking 4 damage.
Yeah.
And then there might be great strength, so he doesn't even get influence from it, right? So there's just so many things. Yeah, with double sense of emergency, yeah, that's a very safe play. And then with the stake and the excellent weather, yeah. No. The only person who could not get into that fight was Godalming. And he did make it in. Fair enough. I think in a situation like that, if it was generally not... I mean, my teammate has just messaged me in the chat to say that he committed a huge error going to Valona. So he's already telling me that he's lost the game from this move. So I think Gio seems very, like, accepting that he's lost this game. Does used cars show properly for you?
Yeah.
So he seemed... I think if this game didn't continue, I think Gio would be happy to give up just by looking at... And this is the thing, like, if the player decides, if the Dracula player in this situation decides, I've lost, and I think we could use screenshots to prove, like, you got double sense of emergency and all this sort of stuff. Mesmerize. Oh, well, blocks rifle. Could have blocked a heavenly holy bullets. That's okay.
For WcKaczek, I would concentrate on the combat instead of typing in here, because the game's not over. The game is not over.
Absolutely not. Oh, knife. But the thing is, with Lucy's Revenge, you need to get Godalming out of the fight. Oh, she has a rifle. Where's this heavenly host, then?
Godalming, then? It's only been Godalming.
It must have been traded off her. But she was in Madrid at the beginning, so there must have been a trade.
Well, the only time she met up, I think, was... I'm sure it's when she jumped into Nuremberg with Godalming for the fog, and that's when they traded.
So who...
So now he's probably thinking about playing... So if you look at it, the Garlic Wreaths are on Seward and Mina. Maybe that was a bait on Mina to try and get the fangs on her, knowing that she hasn't got it, or to protect her.
But he misread Seward when Seward's the one with Garlic Reef. So fanging... Oh, well, actually, no, because he gets rid of the Garlic Reef. Well, he should get rid of the Garlic Reef.
Yeah,
if you suffer damage, not... Oh, I wonder if Gio's realised that. You could fang Seward here. What's Snuff saying? I'm really glad I don't have to adjudicate a bug. Yeah, snap. It's so hard to, especially when in a teammate situation like this where I've got like a vested interest in my teammate. But I think by the looks of it, I think Geordie's like not admitted defeat, like he's given up, but he knows he really fucked up with that move. That you can't, you cannot be moving into Valona when you've got all 4 hunters like poised to move in like that. It's just asking for trouble. Salonica wouldn't have been a safe move either, been better. I think maybe you had to go Varna. Oh, fine. Oh, it doesn't have it maybe. Ooh, he blocked a punch.
Yeah, because I think they might all do this because they might want to be playing the escape as, although Lucy's Revenge is in play, but they might be trying to stop the escape for third.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, it doesn't matter. He's just going to wear them down. He knows he's got 3 rounds, right?
I mean, if they play,
Oh, wow.
no, right, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
it
yeah,
was just-
he's playing slow game here. He knows he has another round, right? Dracula can't block 5 damage here, I don't think.
it's just round three.
Especially with Garlic Reef in play, he can't get sued out of this combat easily. Yeah, you just play all weapons.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
But
I think that
escape is missed is also, yeah, you can't escape because of Lucy's Revenge, so
it's good that WcKaczek
okay.
got back in because I would want him to show me the double sense of emergencies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then,
No,
yeah,
I think it's fine. I mean, we're not accusing any players of not saying. I mean, WcKaczek made that comment because he knew what he had, and as we say, it's good to see the game finish of its natural. Yeah, I would have liked it to have gone to a bug end, default, all the rest of it. And again, as I say, it means people can hear my commentary. So, what's he going for?
Oh,
he can take out Van Helsing.
Oh, well, I mean, that's points, unless he gets great strength.
So, he takes one down, but he's going to go this round.
Oh, he got points. Okay, well, we'll take that.
That's all you could hope for.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, there's the Heavenly Hosts. Very good. Yeah. I've got to quickly go AFK 1 second. I'll keep the live stream running. I'll be back in a few minutes, okay?
Okay, yep. Well, there we go. Throwing down all the overkill on Dracula. He's not coming back for any of this. Yeah, that was tough going for Geo. So like I said at the beginning of the game, I think this was the first or one of the few games where he was found very quickly. And as I said at the beginning, being found in the first week doesn't always mean you have to change or get panicked about it. But I think as well, by going east the way he was pretty much going into the hunters. As I was saying, probably Iberia would have been the better move to go to. When he was in Clermont-Ferrand, go down Toulouse, enter into Iberia, Palmina's evacuated it, leave the trail, and then at least he would have got some cards around there. He would have got a trail on the way. And I think because of where he was, he would have got to Spain and could have been away before they drew. I mean, it depends when they drew renewed vigor. But he could have got away from Spain and left a nice little trail. So yeah, it was. That's that. So that's an interesting one. For those that aren't aware, WcKaczek's team are bottom of the table, so they've got another win now. So they needed this really just to try and claw their way back into perhaps some sort of contention. I don't know, with 2 weeks left if it's too little too late, but we shall have a look and see. Oh, I just got everything to do landing and normal. Renewed vigor, speed telegraph, plus a CG. Wow. Okay, well, had he gone to sea to try and land, he'd already used his wolf, so had he gone to sea, then you block Barry and you block Venice, and he has to go to Auri and take 3 damage, and God, he could have been dead either way. So, yep, that was a quick win. A quick win in the end. But that's a win there. That's another loss. So this is interesting. Obviously, when Scott Sword comes back, we'll check. But this now means this is quite interesting. This has been a top table versus bottom table, and we see that in many a sporting event. The team that's got really nothing to lose puts all the pressure on the team that's trying to win. So,
That's right.
Scott, so that's a loss. I was just saying, a loss for your team and a win for the bottom of the table.
It
Both
was.
important results on both sides. So, and as you say before you begin the game, both second and third play this week. So,
Yeah. So the
it could
current
be an interesting results
standings.
table.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's public information because they've been games. So the current standings are my team are on 10 wins, 5 losses. Pirate Wizard, I believe, are on 9 wins, 6 losses. Dirty Deeds Done Cheap are also on 9 wins, 6 losses. But Pizza Wizard and Spencer still have to play each other. So whichever team wins will be equal on wins with us. But then I've got to play Backstab at the weekend. So if we win that... Again?
Yep. This now puts WcKaczek's team on a win of 4 and 11, minus 80 IDS.
4 and 12. I think 4 and 12. I think
4 and 12 it'll be.
Oh no, sorry. No, 4 and sorry, 4 and 11 because I've got to play Backstab. Yeah, 4 and 11. 4 and 11.
Yeah, you haven't played Backstab yet with minus 80 IDS. So the IDS is pretty much irrelevant at this stage. So they've got another victory. That's a 4 and 11. Moving that up, we are on a 7 and 9. With
Yes.
my win and Snuffles win. So
Indeed.
so we're above Team Wildlife with IDS. So we're in 4th. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's tightening up at the top. Sorry, I'm just replying to Geo, poor guy. We'll go again. Yeah. My couple of defeats in the last couple of games have put a lot of pressure on Geo for this game. We know how good a player WcKaczek is. So yeah, I've got to do my job. I've got to be a backstab this week to maintain that 1-win lead at the top. If not, we are going to be tied with whoever it is, and potentially with IDS, we might be in second. Depends on who it is, but who wins between Pizza Wizard and Spencer. Looking at IDS, Gio and I would probably want Spencer to win. Again, no disrespect to Pizza Wizard, but just because, Pirate Wizard have the better IDS, so we'd want to have the lower IDS team to win and get above them.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, either of them could win. We saw it in the game last time, right? That was an absolutely crazy game that went into, like, the 5th week. Spencer was on top for, like, 3 weeks, and then Pizza Wizard almost won it at the end, and then it escaped him, and so, I mean, anything can happen in that.
That's right. That was in the UK, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the whole Liverpool. Do I jump on him? Do I not? Yeah.
Yeah. So you can only win. You got to try and win. We can't really focus on other teams. If they do us a favor, great. If not, we just got to try and win our games. That's the only thing we can do. So yeah, I've just got to beat Backstab, maintain that 1-win advantage if I can, and then we got 4 games to go. We got to play second place and third place in the last 2 weeks. So we can pull away from them, or we could lose it. So it's, everyone knows what they have to do. It's in everybody's hands at this stage.
Yeah, that's what you want. Yeah, that's what you want. You play your own game. You can get distracted looking at around you and hoping for somebody to do you a favor. You can only control what you're doing. So do what you can, and let the chips fall where they were. Interestingly, not that spoilers, but I noticed when I was doing the scheduling, the final game is ours. We're against High Lords of Low Waters, and WcKaczek has switched to Hunter against me as Dracula. So
he's been alternating though all the weeks, because if he's Hunters this week, next week he's Dracula, so the last week he's Hunters. They've been alternating because you played Backstab last time. They're alternating every week.
Ah, right. Okay, I thought maybe he was strategizing, so he's got a chance to beat me.
No. Because if that was the case, I probably would expect him to play as Dracula against me, but no, they're just alternating every week. I guess because Backstab being the newer player, they want to give him a chance on both. So, yeah, it's what you want going into the final 4 games. The last 2 weeks of the tournament. It potentially between 1st and 4th place. Well, especially between 1st and 3rd, it's going to be in everyone's hands, which is kind of what you want. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were speaking of stuff, but I mean, a fourth would be great for ourselves to kind of do that. I mean, again, all we got to do. Snuff, as I said, has had his first fantastic win against Fangs, and I messaged him afterwards saying that this is a great time of the tournament to get your win momentum on the go. If he wins his last games and I win my last games and around it, then it'll be wherever it is. So
Yeah, you're suddenly then 10 or 11 wins, and then that you're in a really tight battle with Team Wildlife. You might even make it into third, depending on what happens above, right? So.
And the thing is, yeah, that's what you want. I mean, especially for spectators as well. Any sporting event, people get bored when there's a runaway champion. Like, oh right, okay, like the way it was looking for you guys, 5 matches ago, it was like, oh right, okay, Scott's on Gio. Gio's winning all his games. Scott's winning all his. Well, not all his because she lost to me, but whatever. And this is what you want to see. You want to see games where it's like, wow, okay, this could come down to the last. The last week would be fantastic where two teams are fighting for top, maybe 3 fighting for top would be.
It could well be.
It'd be great.
It could well be. I mean, every tournament we have had where it's had a league structure, the champion has not been decided until the final week. And just by coincidence, it's always been the top 2 have been against each other in the final week. So it looks like it's going to happen again. And again, there's no planning on that on my part. It's just however the fixtures got spat out, and that's just the way it's worked. We got to play Dirty Deeds Done Cheap, and then Pirate Wizard the next week. It could well be the 2, basically using the the British terminology that you would resonate with being a football fan, soccer fan. It's 4 cup finals.
Yeah,
and that's it. Win those 4, and you win, and that's it. Easy as that. But then start losing, and then other things. Why I advocate for knockout? We could get into that debate. I don't know. It's tricky. Knockout has its advantages in terms of suspense, but it also has disadvantages. Knockout takes longer to do. It causes more scheduling issues. Having to play, 3 games against the same opponent. It might take 2 weeks to do rather than week and a half, which then causes delays further down the line. As you get fewer and fewer people through the competition, then people might lose interest because there are not as many games being played, whereas in a league, there's always the same number of games every week. I see advocates for both. I will always advocate for a league structure, I think, just because of the continued, interest all the way through. As long as you haven't got people at the bottom who are feeling like they've got no chance at all. But we see in this game, right, as you said, bottom v top, and the bottom team won. The competition is just so tight between everybody in this community now. Anybody can beat anybody. So
yeah, and that's it. People that are, if they're starting to find form now, or they are getting. It's funny. We always say about this game, and there's no higher intervention or whatever, but there is a funny thing where momentum does have a bearing on people's psychological status when they play a game. You go on a run, you win 3 or 4. It's like, I can't lose. And then you lose a couple, and it's like, I can't buy a win here. And it's just, nothing's changed. The game's still the same game. Nothing has happened other than your psychological switch on approaching the game. Do you enter it thinking, I've really not got to lose here? And then that distracts your focus from playing a solid game, which then leads to mistakes, like tonight, for example. As you say, Gio may have felt the pressure that, he's okay, I need to get this because Scott Sword had that just to keep us up. And again, because of that, even as subliminal as it might be, has taken his eye off the kind of, right, I'll move to Valona. Whereas, again, if you had that where you were 3 games ahead, you may have just been more relaxed when you're playing. So I think these things do come into play. All right, it's an online game and it's a bit of fun, but we're all competitive. We all like to play. We all have the banter afterwards, and we like ribbing each other, and that's what the community is about as well. So I think for that, it does have a bearing. People will, there's some people we know, we won't name names, but again, nothing wrong with. They don't like playing tournaments because of the pressure, and that's absolutely fine. They want to play the game as a fun sit down, let's have a friendly. Absolutely not a problem. You've got to have a certain mental health or imbalance to jump into these things and stress yourself out about them. So so again, all the other games have to get played. Every other team will be looking the same, and it'll be how can they hold their own, and just see what happens. So it'll be very interesting for the last couple of weeks.
I was also thinking about it too, like the way this game can also be really funky, not just in terms of like winning streaks, but also you might play a game where you just feel so under the cosh and not playing well, but then you win. But then other games where you feel really in a good state of mind and then you lose it. It's so strange how it just happens.
Yeah.
Just the way
I
there's
think
just
that-
so many bits and pieces that so many moving parts. What's the?
and
So
that's
I'm just
what
looking
I
at the
was saying when you were AFK earlier. That's what I was saying about the game where it can just change on a dime. It's crazy how one little error, either one error from, or not necessarily an error, one piece of good luck for one side or the other. Oh, I found you early. That's great. Oh, I managed to get this card. And then the one movement where Dracula could have gone, he could have gone west or east, and he chose the wrong direction. It's 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm
just
and 5
seeing.
times out of 10 that would work. So.
Yep, I was looking. Geordie just messaged me in chat saying he could have put the second fog because he had it, and there was no forewarned. He could have potentially trapped 4 hunters if he'd planned it right, or trapped a couple of them and whatever. Yeah.
Well, even just trap Van Helsing, and you would have been safe.
And then move to Athens for free, hide for free, and then leave, and then they've blown their renewed vigor. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw in the in-game chat. WcKaczek also said he pulled CG as well.
Oh my goodness! Good grief! I mean, in Valona, he wasn't in danger because he just got Adriatic, right?
Well, that's the thing, though. That's what I was. Because he had CG then. If he'd gone down to health and managed to escape or to get to say he survived that battle and then went to sea, they could then play CG, block Barry in Venice. He then has to go 2. So if he was on 3 health, he'd be dead.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. In that situation, yes, you could block things and make it really difficult. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the 2 center emergencies on both hunters. So that was that takes away a lot of issues for the hunters.
I just want to bring out a thing in chat. People saying, like Shred saying, you should go for single elimination. In New Blood, we did single elimination, and I'm not saying it didn't work. I think it worked really well, and it was a really nice way to sort of end the tournament. But the problem is, if you look at the amount of time those was it how many rounds? 3 or 4 rounds of knockout they took way longer than they should have taken. There were a lot of delays. So if we were to do knockout in future, they would have to be regulated in terms of timing really strictly. But that causes problems because if you're having to play 3 matches in basically a week and a half, what if you can't play midweek games because of timing? So then you have to play in the second weekend, and then that knocks everything back down the line. That's the issue with knockout.
Is that not what happened with? Was it not a delay? Birch Marley, were they not playing? Was it 3rd place or something? But their game came after the tournament had ended or something.
Yeah, because they couldn't find it. That was not what I was thinking of. But yeah, that was one situation. I mean, there was no pressure on them to play quickly. I was just like, whenever you can, don't stress. But that was an example of one. Yeah, and I'm not even thinking about doing Immortal Invitational with T. That'd make it harder. Yeah, I like the idea of knockout, but I was thinking about this already today, when I should have been working. I was thinking about it today, because I'm already planning ahead for the League of Dracula in the autumn. How are we going to organize this? If the tournament, if the number of, it doesn't matter, I hope the number of participants grows. How do we keep doing this? I think Swiss-style league is going to be the way to go because we can accommodate larger numbers more easily. But then, do we have a knockout? If we have a knockout, how many rounds of knockout? Top 2? Top 4? Top 6? Oh, not top 6. Top 8? Top 16? So then, you're looking at every single round of knockout. In order to play it safely, you can't say a week and a half. It's going to be every 2 weeks. So if you have the top 16, say, go into a knockout, that's 8 weeks of competition just to get from the 8 to the 1 at the end. That could be 8 weeks of league. And then if you're trying to do a knockout, then you need to have some sort of league format ahead to try and work out, rankings and things and seeding, because now there's so many tournaments we can't really seed properly, because we don't have an ELO system either. Have 2 tournaments at once? Are you mad? We can barely do 1. It's already tiring to have 1 tournament at once. I can't even... people wanting to participate, but also organizing it. And then also,
Well,
like, if we as admin also want to play, we're not Wingspan. We can't do that sort of stuff.
plus as well, there's real life. I mean, these games
Yeah, that too.
typically
Yeah.
an hour and a half, 2 hours. People have got jobs, and these games you've got to be in. You can't just rush back and then I've got a game. You've got to plan it, and you've got other things around it. Where I mean, Fury of Dracula is very low on my list, and I can only do it because I've got availability. But yeah, I mean, two of them, God, I mean, it was bad enough. You've got ones where you haven't planned sort of 2 matches or whatever it might be, but no. It's going to be, and you don't want to get to the stage where people just get fatigued halfway through the tournament and then they can't be arsed playing anymore.
Do a Fury of Dracula tournament and a league. A league is a tournament. A league
Is
is a tournament. Yeah, a league is a tournament.
Yeah. You'll have to break it down into smaller words for him. He doesn't understand what you're saying.
Did you miss? No, you missed nothing, WcKaczek. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Good victory. Nice use of events. Very good. Very good. The War of the Ring tournament takes... how long? 6 months. Yeah, okay. That's fine. But that's a different game.
Jesus Christ.
It's a different game, different format, different community. I'd rather have a more succinct tournament that is within a very restricted 3-month period, and then it's done, and it's a very standard thing. We have a league all year, I know, but we don't have elo system, so we can't have an ongoing league. I'd rather have one-off events right now. I don't think we have the size of community to have elo.
No.
And then you got complicated. Yeah, I don't know. In War of the Ring, it's the same because you got 2 factions, right? But
plus as well, we're still getting newcomers to Fury. We're still building the community, so
Well,
you don't want them coming in and having to explain, right? By the way, okay, you want to enter the tournament? Fantastic. It's going to take 6 months of your life. They want to be able to come in, play the tournament, enjoy it, and come back for more. So yeah, it's different than it when you've got a community that's been ongoing, like any sort of R&D or what, yeah, that you buy into that because there's going to be like a kind of like a football season. We're going to be it's a full season of a tournament rather than this is a one-off tournament. So
yeah. Our community is so small that we want it so that when people sign up for tournaments, they are like, okay, in and around real life, you dedicate yourself to that tournament, and then once it's done, you have a break. And then if you decide you don't want to take part in the next tournament coming up, and if you play in the autumn and you don't play in the one in the spring, no issue. It's fine, right? If we had 200 members running around, then I think that's a different story. But where there's only how many of us in the Discord? 40? I'm not complaining. I'm so happy with how things are going. I love it. But I think we have to be a little bit realistic in terms of how we organize things. I don't mind suggestions, but it has to be realistic. And in fact, I could run an elo.
Well,
yeah, we could have elo, but I don't know how much interest would generally have in it. Don't know. And people will feel like they have to commit to the elo league rather than just playing friendly games.
I mean, out of the 40 people in our community, not all 40 play regularly.
Well, that's also true.
You could say 50% are probably regular players, but the other ones come and dip in now and then. We see ones that come back, so it's not 40 that play all the time. So therefore, if you are doing, I mean, you did that when you did the split tournaments of like the American League and the Europe League. We were struggling to find a couple of players and various things. So if it was consistent, then yeah. But
it's all based on numbers. Like, look at it. The last 2 World Championships we had 20. As I said, I am over the moon. When I first set that up, and I would have said it to you, Roscoe, at the time, I thought we'd only have 6 people. So the fact we got 20 is miraculous and amazing, and it went so well. And then we had 20 the next year, and a lot of them were newer players. Then we had 12 in the new blood. We've got now 6 teams here, so that's another 12. I'm really happy with how it's going. That's the thing. And
it's not to say that in 6 months' time elos can work because we've got more people joining, more people playing. So it's all good. It's all good to this is encouraging chat from the chat that they want to we can throw these in, and there could be a time where there is 2 tournaments because we've got 50 regular players. We did 25. So these are all things, of course. I mean, this is I mean, where this game has come from, for those that haven't joined or have only been in the community for, let's say, a year or maybe longer. Prior to that, if Quincy's still in the chat, he'll know. When I joined, it was, like I say, I keep saying, it's sort of Quincy, myself, and Mr. Green that were the, let's just have another game because nobody else. From where it's gone from there to where it is now is, I mean, it's everyone take a hat off and raise it. And in no small part is down to you, Scott Sword. Everyone wanted a tournament, and you created it and started it. So you've created this, and it's brought more players to it. People have watched your YouTube and I want to get involved in a tournament. We've had players that have joined that have said, "How do I join it?" Like, for example, and I always forget the guys. Remember the guy that popped in for the tournament that disappeared? Something.
Oh,
Rabbit or
Bugs
something?
B, what a legend.
Yeah, so we've had
Yeah.
people just come and go, "I'll play a tournament," and then they disappear. So where it is now that you can put a "looking for Fury" in the comments and get 10 people anytime saying, "Yeah, I can play," you're like, wow, because before it was so bereft. So we're getting there, and that's only been in as long as you've been within the community.
Like 2 years. Like, I joined February 2022, end of February 2022, and there was like no, like, if you're saying then within that time from then until now, well, less than that, because the first one didn't start until September of 2022. We've had now well, do you count the European and American League as separate tournaments or the same tournament? It was the same event. We had 2 champions from it. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tournaments, and now this is the 6th one in 18 months. Like, we have to take baby steps here. I'm not saying like that in a way to not be ambitious, but we have to think about organizing it in like in a coordinated way. The same voice as being, so it's not a muddled mess. The fact now we've got Snuff and JB Philly on board with me will make it much easier to have ongoing tournaments without burnout. Because I will say it, like, I've been burnt out with this, and I'm not saying it like to get sympathy. It's just to make clear that when you're so invested in something like this, eventually you're going to get tired because you're just doing so much work for it. The fact I've been playing and content creating and organizing. And then this is why I'm trying to get other people on board to help with certain things, because it just makes it way more enjoyable when you got other voices and other people who are willing to help out, and I'm really happy about it. But we have to do it in a way that is controlled, because I don't want a situation where we, as a whole community, we burn ourselves out, and then it never happens again. And then everything we've done dies. We have to just slowly build this up. And if I don't know how many people are going to sign up for the next World Championship, I hope we break 20 again. My ambition is 30. But if we don't make 30, okay. I'd rather have half that number, but the people who are in it are really keen on it. And are dedicated and are really keen to play, whether they're new or old players. It doesn't matter. I'm just enjoying every moment of this as much as possible.
And we just, this is a call to arms as well. For those, whoever's left in the chat or listening to this, anyone you know that doesn't play, I mean, when I speak to Gyro about it, he was saying that his sister plays it and a friend plays it. And I was saying, get them into community. The more we can have in the community and the more people that want to play, then the easier it is to get tournament interest and get people joining anyway. So anyone you know that doesn't play, tell them about it, send the link to them, whatever you do.
Absolutely.
Because it is it's a great game for people to get involved in. And as you say, Scott Sword, the tournaments are only going to be run depending on the numbers of those that want to participate. And you don't want to force people into it and go, well, all right, I'll do it, but they're half-assed because I'll do it just to help or, make up the numbers or something, because, you want people to do it because they want to, not because they feel obliged. Yep. I don't think they would. But if it's tournaments where they're going too long or it's too complicated or whatever it might be, you want that to. I mean, like you said, the new blood one you had before, those players can now come into the next one because they're no longer new blood. So you've now got it's almost like we've got a youth scheme in play for those that want to come in. Mm-hmm. They can then get promoted to the senior team and start playing in the other stuff. And
yeah, absolutely. And then and even if there are people, like, if there are people who who maybe not going to be like someone like a Rook, perfect example, not interested in tournaments, but is still involved in the community, doesn't play much, but plays maybe some group games and is involved with live streaming and stuff. That's great. You don't have to participate in everything to be a really valued member of this community.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, or like, I know it for you, right? That you've been away from the Discord for a bit. I know there might be a point in due course where you say, I have to step away for a bit. for
Yep.
work or personal reasons or whatever it is, and you always know you're welcome back anytime you want, and that does not diminish anything that you've done up to this point. So anybody in the community is a friend of the community. End of story.
And that's
so,
it. Like you were saying, it's like when I returned for this. I think I returned and did commentary on a final, didn't I?
Yeah.
So it was like I'm only going to come back if there's a final match, And then, but yeah, it took. And it wasn't intended, but yeah, it was just other stuff was going on, change of job, various things. And it was one of those where I didn't want to commit and let people down by not being able to play. And that's my only concern about it, that, I could try and do it, but I don't want to be the one that's kind of like, listen, sorry, I can't play this week because of work. And then all of a sudden my games are stacking up, and it's not fair on everyone else that's putting their time in as well. So I need to make sure I've got a diary free enough that I can commit and play and give a match where and to be honest, I think that's part of it. The first tour that we all did, the very first world one, I was fatigued by the end of that. We ended up it's kind of finished in December, and it was just it was kind of like, oh right, okay, I need to get through this game. And that's you see all these adverts for betting, when it's not fun anymore, stop. But
Yeah.
it was obviously, you're kind of like, well, you can't because I've just got, let's just get through this tournament. Let's get through the one more. So you're entering it without, right, I'm ready to play this. Where this tournament, I was saying when you were at AFK beginning of this video, as a tag team, it's fantastic because you've got that aspect where you're only playing 50% of the games. You've got the support of a partner. And every game I've played has been like, right, let's jump on. I can't wait for the next match. And that's what we want every player to feel when they come in. You don't want them feeling the game's lost. So, I mean, we have seen a couple of tournaments in the past, maybe players, dare I say, had nothing to win, so they're sort of trolling the game. We don't want players like that. We want it to be competitive, and it lets you see that everyone has got an option to finish where you can. But first and foremost, enjoy the game. That's what it's there for.
Absolutely.
It's not life or death. We're not saving lives. There's no prize money. It's just a game to play with friends on a community and have bragging rights afterwards. That's pretty much it. Unless you're still trying to make his trophy out of an egg cup and tin foil. Or sorry, aluminum foil. But
yeah, and it's also
there is a fucking you in it.
exactly. But there's also then too, like, because we've experimented with different structures now, we can go into this like, this has been great. I don't know what's going to happen next year, but I would definitely be advocating for this team tournament next year around the same time. I think if there are a lot of new people in the community and we want to do a new blood, we can do another new blood. If not, then maybe we just do a cup, a knockout only competition then. And just do something different. For me, I feel like, this is my personal opinion, I have to see what the community think and what JV Philly and stuff think, but for me, the World Championship should have a bit of prestige. I mean, all of them have prestige, I'm not saying that winning them is nothing, but World Championship, like the World Cup would be, or something like that, where it'd be the most difficult tournament to win, and you do have to play over a sustained period of time. But if we want to do shorter tournaments like this one, or a cup competition or whatever, go for it. And I think that it means then people can sub in and out of participating when they feel like. Or like, for example, then too, we want to try over the summer and in between tournaments to do more community group games. If you've got players who only want to participate in community group games, go for it. You only can or want to participate in the team tournament where you only got half the number of matches, go for it. You want to do everything, go for it. I think everyone should be open to participate in what they want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I will pick you up on, were you comparing the prestige of winning the World Fury of Dracula to winning the World Cup, Scott Sword?
Yeah.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch. Listen, one's an online fucking game and one's the World Cup. So, I've got to pick you up on that, mate. If you're walking around Iberia, giving it, I'm the world champion of Fury of Dracula, by the way, don't worry about the Spanish team winning the World Cup 3 times. Everyone's going to be going, yeah, you're right, Scott Sword. It's you we should be bowing down to. Fucking hell. You lose the grandeur, my friend.
What can I compare it to then? The Scottish Cup.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, yeah. The Fury of Dracula has got more prestige in the Scottish Cup than fucking all day long, mate. You can do that next time you're kicking about Dingwall. Just say, look, I'm the Fury of Dracula champion, and they'll give you a key. They'll give you a key to the town.
Exactly. I'll be standing there with the mayor with my big key. Like, look at me.
And here he is, the Fury of Dracula 2022 champion.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, as I was trying to say, Rook enjoys the community games. Well, that's the thing, right? People can sub in and out for whatever it is they're interested in, and that's kind of, especially now that we've got more people on board who are like willing to like organize things and suggest different things. We can then do different stuff. Like for me, I know I'm going to be taking a summer break, but I know that Philly and stuff will be there if the group games are organized. Great, and I can then return fresh in the autumn and then organize World Championship and all that stuff. And we can. The community's only going to keep growing, but it has to be done in a way that is measured and controlled and just not trying to run before we can walk. It's not about stunting ambition, but just being a little bit like realistic about it all.
Yeah, you got to, you feel prepared to fail. But the thing is, it's one that I like. In fact, even the things where, for you, Strider as well, Strider and JB Philly doing like their Wacky Wednesday or Freaky Fridays, it just gets people, all right. There's that thing that's on Friday. I saw it last week. I'll jump in again. So that's fantastic. That's what we want in the community. I don't have the technical ability to do it, but those that are doing it is great. It starts to become in somebody's scheduling mentally. Oh, I'll watch that again. Then they start watching it. Then you can make announcements, tell them to come into the community, and that was never there. So the reach that we have now is great. And like I said yesterday in the comments as well, that Nomad developers, what they're doing for the game. All right, yes, it gets bugs, it is infuriating, but you know what? The guys they've really done a hell of a job to get this tournament to win it, or rather get the game to get to this stage. The way they react to issues is phenomenal. It's like, it's just crazy. So you can't give enough to them, and that's what I like about the community is that you're talking to a developer. You're not in a community where it's 1,000 people, you're a faceless number, and you play the game that's there. The devs never speak to you. They're there. You can speak to everybody. And like in the community, if somebody, for whatever reason, if they wanted to speak to the world champion 2022, they can message you and you'll message them back and welcome. And for some, it's like, this is great, because if they've come from a community where they are one of many, then it's like, I'm actually getting a one-to-one with these players, and we all like to, chat to each other and take the piss and do all that, and that's all done in friendly context. So I can see, there's a lot of attractions coming to this community for that, either people for the first time or coming from a large community like Strider. You were saying, you've taken a break for the war because, again, it will fatigue you, and sometimes you need to take a step away from a game and come back to it to enjoy it. So I can only see bigger and better things for the community the way it's going, because it's growing and it's just exponentially going to keep going the same way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's Snuff saying in chat? Sometimes when you want to look up a card and how it can best be used, it's hard to look up a Quincy or Scottsville video and find the right part of the video. Games like this with cards benefit from the print strategy guide. What do you mean by print strategy guide? Is that something that's maybe a term I'm not familiar with? I think, something I want to try and do again, I don't know when I'm going to have time. I want to, what's it called? I want to try and do something similar to what Quincy did, where Quincy did like his little shorts. I don't know if you know this, but Quincy did a little short videos explaining every Hunter event card, which are really neat. The big issue with this game, trying to explain it, either from a teaching perspective or from, like me, or even us, right, when we did our Hunter tier guide video and all this sort of stuff, we're having to talk in such hypotheticals. It's very hard to pinpoint a really exact example. I think my first message may not send. Oh yeah, sorry, Snuff. YouTube hates links. It's very infuriating. I was talking about this with a Rook on our Keeping You Company video. Yeah. If you try to post links, if you send it to me, Snuff, I'll be able to post it in the chat if it's something in particular you want people to see. What should I say? And that's right. I was encouraged when Scott took on all my mistakes. Oh, well, that's nice. I'm glad that helped. But the thing is, like, you have to realize, like, that takes a lot of time and effort to, like, make these things. It doesn't come cheap. And I don't mean that, like, in a nasty way, but just, like, all the stuff I've done for the community, and same with everybody, same with you, Roscoe, like, as much as people think there might be some sort of transactional agreement between us, there isn't one. Maybe only when I see
keep
you.
Asking, but the
invoices get lost.
Even as world champion, I thought he's got a bit of money now. No, I get fuck all, so I just do it for the shits and giggles.
I wish. I mean, no, I'll buy you a beer the next time I see you. But that's it. That's the extent. Right. That's the extent of our transaction. Say again?
Yeah. It costs time. It costs energy. It costs. There is costs involved in it. Like when we've done those tier videos and things, we posted out. We don't know if I was going to watch it or not. That was kind of early into your YouTube sort of career. So we didn't know, we spent, 3 hours going through that, plus all the prepping. But we did it because it was fun, and if nobody watched it, you and I had a little debate and it was good laugh to go through the cards and do it that way. And I think now is probably, that would be a good one also to return to. Maybe not as in length, because people, they can read the cards themselves, but more about, okay, here's the tier and this is why. And then have debates, and then maybe other channels, they can do, like JB Philly could do one, Strider can do, they can all have their own tier system and see how they compare to ours, Whereas before it was like we had to go through a lot, but we were also explaining what the cards do, because a lot of the time players were new or they didn't know what was happening with it. I think now a lot of players are pretty much au fait with, apart from Strider with Crucifix, but we know about that. Most players are kind of, you could just go to the library in the game and it'll tell you everything you need to know regardless. So that was a bit of fun for us. And I would like to address it, because I do think because of meta, because of changes in the game, there's cards I know will have changed from my last tier to
same.
a different location now.
Yeah, easily for me too, especially now with this update as well. It's just gonna everything's been shifting. What's I saying? Yeah. Oh, I was saying to create a PDF strategy guide inspired by Twilight. Well, that was a thing. You say that. That was a thing that Warecraft always said he wanted to do. He wanted to actually create a website strategy guide. I don't know if he ever got around to that. Poor guy. He's very busy. It's the same with me. I've got a list as long as your arm on things I want to do. People sent things to me around Christmas time. I wanted to create a video which was why we love FOD, and people from the community were sending me messages to contribute to it. I haven't even had time to make that video yet. There's I made that Hunter guide video. I wanted to create a Dracula guide one, and you, Roscoe, we were talking about, you suggested things that should be included, and we were putting our ideas together. I still haven't made that video. I want to update the Discord, because I think, as much as I quite like our Discord, I think there's some things that need to change about it. And I haven't gone through the analysis of the previous World Championship we need to do, and even if it's between me and Snuff and Philly, it's going to take time. So we can't do everything.
I remember last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day you took it away. No, last Christmas you remember you had those cards, like they were fucking hell, Ross, use your words. It was like we had different event cards, didn't we? And it was like, right, for this game, this is going to be the card we use. And it was either don't use rifles, or they were like gimmick cards, weren't they, for the games?
Yeah.
We only did about 3 games or 4 games.
Yeah, we did half a dozen. I still have them right up here above my desk. People who don't know, because a lot of people were in the tournament or the community at the time. During the end of the last you say last Christmas? No, it was Christmas before. It was Christmas 2022 to 2023. As the championship was ending, I made some little playing cards, but on them there's as you said, gimmicky rules, and I'm going to count them. 3, 4.
Yeah, read a couple out. Read a couple out. You've got there.
15, 16. So okay, sure. So this one is called social distancing. You can tell it was written during COVID times. No more than 2 characters can ever be on the same space. No duplicates. Only 1 copy of each Hunter event card can be played during the game. Duplicates can be held onto but cannot be played. Glue Factory. Hunters are forced to discard their non-white or white 1 tickets, however you want to call them. If they obtain one of these, the tickets we normally keep, we keep because we want to fast forward to work, we have to throw them back into the ticket pool. I like this one. Hunters on holiday. The hunter starter positions are determined by the destinations of the cheapest international flights on Skyscanner from their normal starting locations. So you can do Scotswood start and then see, when they end up starting in different places, right? Learn the alphabet with Dracula. Dracula must place encounter cards onto the trail and into layers in alphabetical order. I created 40 of these things, and it was not just me. Yeah. Pizza Wizard was definitely suggesting loads of cards. Captain Gyro, Captain Gyro has his paw prints all over all. Why say paw prints? That was so weird. His fingerprints all over there. You know why? I don't think anybody's noticed. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. If you watch that video with me and a rook on the farm, on the Stardew Valley farm, in the first week, you get a dog, and I named the dog Captain Gyro. because he's just the
Ah,
loyalist
right.
friend. That's why I said Paw Prince. Sorry, Gyro, that's really unfair of me. Yeah, he was came up with so many funny names for all these. Or maybe I came up with the rule, but he came up with the names because he's better. He's got a wittier line than I do. So I've got like 40 of these bloody things, and they've just been sitting here for a year and a half, and we haven't done them. So again, like
I
that's what I'm
know.
saying with the community
Yeah.
group games. If people want to just take these out and just play wacky rules, go for it. I don't mind. It's there's just so much stuff that we can do.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And it was.
yeah.
I tell you, the Gio would be hoping social distancing was in tonight's game because then it would have just been him and Van Helsing and Valona.
Well, that would have been perfect. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I hadn't quite thought about that rule. If there's a vampire there, does that count as a character? I guess it does, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, there's just so many things, but you can't do everything. And then with organizing, and then I want to commentate, right? I'm not saying it like, oh, I'm having to do it. No, I want to live stream. I want to play. I want to live stream. I want to commentate. I want to post game analysis. But just there's not enough hours in the day for it. And then you've got other
No.
stuff going on. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, we're all we all got different situations, but like I've got my job. I've got my wife, and my poor wife feels like I'm abandoning her every single night. She's not happy with me, but she's very patient, fortunately. So we can't do
And the other thing is,
everything. We have to just yeah,
and the other thing as well is the community is great. It is. It's a worldwide community, so of course we've got
yeah,
to take into account the time zones. We can't just pick up and chat to somebody. I can't say, right, I'm going to message Snuff, it's tea time, I'll see what he's up to, because he's going to be at work, or if I'm
yeah,
up in the morning, I can't chat because he's going to be asleep. So we're all across the world, which I love, because globally we can be in one community that we just jump in, and I feel that we all have a great relationship. We can just say what we want to each other. It's all very open. It's a good laugh and a joke. So that's the thing that you've got to bear in mind, that again with the tournaments, it's not just, okay, if we were all in one area, then it's like, okay, if you're in the States, you're kind of, right, there's going to be maybe a 4 hour time difference. With
yeah,
this, it's like, okay, you're planning games, but like I tried to do as well in the tournament, you want to make it fair so that, okay, well, I'll play one game where it's my opponent has to get up early because of the time zones, and the next game I'll stay up late to make it fair on them. So those are the things you got to take in when you're playing these games. It's not just I'll play at 6 p.m. at night and I'm done and dusted. Some of the World Tournament games that in the first tour we had, I was starting a game at 11 o'clock at night, and then
yeah.
and no excuses or reasons, but if your opponent is playing you at 5 p.m., who's going to be more fresh to focus on
Yeah.
it?
No, no,
And
no.
again, that's just
It's
that's
just the
just what
reality
happens.
of
But again,
yeah,
it
it's just the
is, yeah,
reality
that's
of
what it
it.
is. So
Yeah. Or like a little Pizza Wizard. Pizza Wizard is the king of waking up early to play.
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
in the very first tournament, because in the group stage we had a player who got delayed with various things, and he was trying to catch up with his fixtures. I'm not joking. Pizza Wizard legitimately played a game at 3 a.m. just to get it
wow,
done, and he won it as well. He won the game as well. But that's the thing. Like, that's just the reality of it. And so we
yeah,
have to work around it the best we can. I feel like we're a community who are fairly, amicable towards each other, and we're like, I can't play that time because I'm at work or I have other commitments or I'm sleeping for obvious reasons. Can we try, like me, for example, playing Backstab? He's in the middle of Canada somewhere and I'm over here in Spain. The only time we can realistically play is in the weekend, Saturday afternoon. Well, Saturday afternoon for my time, morning his time. And we're like, okay, that's the way it has to be then. So, yeah. I love it if there be a day where we can really much say, right, okay, then all the Americans can go off and they can all play each other a lot. All the Europeans can play amongst themselves, but at the moment we just don't have a community big enough for that. So we're just going to have to learn to work with each other. But it's great though, because then you get to then meet people from across the pond. Like people like Strider and Aruk and Gyro and Peter Wizard, who we've been commentating with. But now there's a little Spanish posse as well, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's but that's the joy of it. But at the same time, yeah, we have to try and compromise a little bit. It can make it
I
difficult.
love it. I love it, and I mean, it's known that I'm no spring chicken. I'm maybe one of the oldest in the community. I'm not up on technology or all these kind of things, and it was never someone. I'm not an online gamer, never have been really. It's always been sort of consoles, and I'll just play games there. So this was a kind of like, as I say, I had the board game, and I saw the digital game, and COVID forced my hand, if you like, to join the community to play this, and honestly, it was like, I have some great laughs with these guys, all you guys. You know, some of the chat we have, some of the stuff that's stayed, the interacting we have, and even just out of things where, you know, Snuff's win the other night. Never met the guy, only spoke to him, 5 weeks ago we started playing this. And I was genuinely, honestly, I've never been so happy that my teammate won a game. And, you know, that's something that you only get by the people in the community being who you guys are. You know,
Yeah.
I love the fact that we can take the piss. It's not a snowflake community, and I'm going to throw that out there because, you know, I wouldn't be in the community if it was, not because I'd be cancelled, but because I really wouldn't want to be in a community like that. It's more, you know, you give me a bit of banter, I'll give you a bit of banter back, and that's what it should be, because that's what we'd be like if you were friends in real life, face to face. You know, especially Scots, we're very,
Oh, well,
you know,
yeah,
we're
that
very
goes
not
without
only
saying.
self-deprecating, but we'll greet each other by going, "All right, you cunt." So that's you know, that's pretty much, and that's what we say to our family.
Yeah, exactly. And our
so
best friends. Imagine what we say to people we don't like.
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully there are no kids
you don't
listening
get
to
any
this.
warning, you just get punched.
Yeah,
Um,
and also like,
but that's what I
like,
love. Yeah, it's all different cultures. It's different, and you know, like we say, Aruk. Sorry, pal. It's like,
on you
you
go.
know, I like it when Aruk will message us and say, "I just had to look up what you said," and vice versa. There's things that there's terminology that gyros use. I'm like, what is that? And then so it's
Yeah.
all look, we're all educating each other. We're all going to be better after this. Stick with it, and we'll all be better people by the end of it.
Absolutely. And even at, like, you know, a Rook was just some. Take someone like a Rook. I know, obviously, friends with Strider and stuff. We might, but he was just random guy who was messaging me on, you know, the YouTube comments and stuff, enjoying the videos, and then we ended up doing, you know, like a 2-hour video the other day, just us talking about, even though I've never, you know, we're very different. He's from the States, I'm from, you know, Scotland, now living in Spain, but then we would have a 2-hour conversation just about living abroad, because we both have that shared experience, albeit in different countries, but we could all relate to each other and learn from each other from it. Yeah, the community is just amazing, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But that's the thing, I want to nurture it along with everybody else. I don't see it as my sole responsibility, like everybody is in it, but I want it to be nurtured, but also just to, you know, protect what we've got as well, and just enjoy everything that we're doing. And do a good job of it. You can't imagine the first time I was running that World Championship with, you know, Peter Lee's help, of course, but the sheer panic in the first week, I was literally sitting at my laptop every second, just, is everything working? What's everything? And just feeling like the whole world is on your shoulders. If this fucks up, we won't have any more tournaments ever again. I wasn't even thinking about it in terms of like what would happen next, but it's like you want everything to go well because everyone's invested time in your project. You don't want it to fuck up. So it's not as simple as just, let's just create a nice, you know, fixture table and everyone goes off and plays. There is, and then if there are disputes, like we almost had today with bugs and stuff. Again, as you were saying, I was immediately having to put my admin hat on, like, where are we going with this? What would be the solution? Can we decide it now? Do we have to wait and talk about it offline and all this sort of stuff? Yeah, and then with the other game where we had like 2 bugs between Snuff and Fangs, right? You know, it's not as simple as just letting everyone go off and play. A lot of it is, which is great. The functioning of the tournament is quite self-sufficient, but still, you have to keep on top of it. Because I know personally, especially when I was doing it on my own, if you just lose, just for not a few, I don't say a few, I don't want to exaggerate, but if you just sort of don't stay on top of things for a couple of weeks, it kind of starts descending into chaos a little bit and being very disorganized, and like having to get back on it again. And that takes energy. It depends on the people. Some people might be able to cope with it. I personally, when I invest my time into something, you might be the same, Ross. When you invest your time into something, you put 100% in. You can't do it half-assed, because that's just not the way I function. I'm really passionate about this, so I'm going to do it full tilt.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about it, is where you do that, and listen, we're all different people. Some people don't work that way, some people don't, and everyone's correct. You know, when you work with people that don't do that, and I'm not going to detail, but in my career, I've worked with people that, you know, basically in my job, you had to be 100% focused. You can't just do it half-assed. So you would get people that would try and, you know, they might work 60%. It's like, no, I can't have you. I can't have you. You can't do that at 60%. It's 100% or not at all. And that's just the way people are hardwired different ways. And it's about, and that's what I'd liked about the tag team side, was interesting to see the psychology behind it. Maybe after the tournament, it'd be interesting to get feedback on people and about, how they did they enjoy teamwork, or did they prefer being the lone wolf, or how did that open up different dynamics? Because you're relying on not just you. If you win a game and lose a game, it's on you. But now you've got, as you said, Gio maybe has the pressure of Scotsman's lost a game. I need to win this to keep us together. And vice versa. And Snuff was saying to me, "Oh, I'm sorry to let you down." I was like, "No, we're in this together. That's the way it is." But other teammates may be like, "Right, okay, well, this isn't really going to," So it's a whole new dynamic. And I think what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is that people are always going to get invested in this. I think it's appreciated by the community. Evidently, it is, and I've said it to you many times, and I'm happy to say it again on air if you like. That the tournaments you've done are fantastic. The work that you put in, and again, it's work that you put in without telling people about it. It's just 1 minute the tournament's there, but all the work that's put behind it, knowing what you put yourself through to make sure it's right, it puts you under a lot of pressure. And now, as you said, 6 tournaments in, you can sit back and pat yourself on the back and say, right, okay, if you look at where you are now, look at where you are now setting up this tournament to set up that first one. The first week you'd be like, right, we start then, okay, great, right, I'm playing Roscoe first match, right, and you wouldn't have even been like, shit, has everyone started? Is everyone on time? No, you know what it's doing now because you've done it 5 times before. So, and that's credit to your studious outlook. I joked to you about your spreadsheets and things, but you're a studious person, and you need that for somebody to set up a tournament like this. You've got to be able to check it, make sure all the plates are spinning correctly. And you've done that. But now, hopefully, I hope for your sake as well, that when you do these tournaments, it's less stressful for you. You've got guys like Snuff and Philly now as your kind of mod or administrators, whatever, which again can only helps you. You got a couple of great. Same with Peter C. Lee was doing the graphics and stuff for the previous one. Just having that other person to bounce off. And I mean,
Absolutely.
that's why you and I would do commentary, just because, not because I wanted to be on YouTube and do commentary, but it was like, do you want a hand? And that was really, I think, the first sort of chat about it was, you might be happy doing it. And it was like, yeah, and it gives you something to bounce off. If it's a 2-hour game, it gives you somebody else to bounce off instead of you trying to fill dead air for 2 hours, and sometimes you do want to do it yourself, and that's great. It's great having that option now. You've got so many, and all of them, all the YouTubers that are out there, you see other people in our community are always co-commentating, and it's different people every time. That's what you love. It's like, who's on this match? And you kind of tune in almost like, I like it when they do this and they do that. It's like when Rook Strider and I did the 3-1. It was great because I'm chatting with the two mates, and it's like, right, okay. And then on the same time, you've also got 2 others commentating from their side, and it's like, this is fantastic. And then you've got 3 videos to watch back afterwards. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's almost like on the other way. There's almost too much content. I personally can't keep up with everything. There's just so much stuff that's coming out. But it's great to see, and there's a reason why in the description I put the links of everybody, because I want everybody to get as much help with that stuff as possible. They're putting the effort in, even if I personally cannot sit down and watch every single game because I'm doing other stuff. I want to make sure that everybody else can see it, and that's why I want to just post it all over the Discord. It's what we want. And get as many people on here as possible. And even like you, I got a lot of confidence from the fact that, you were able to come on with me to do some YouTube stuff at the beginning, and it was really good fun. And a lot of the banter from the channel really came from the 2 of us together, not just me.
And I enjoy it as well, and that's the whole thing. And everyone enjoyed it. And again, I think we're all similar. We're all similar characters. You hear the commentary, and we're all laughing at the same sort of humour. We've all got the same outlook. Kind of when you're commentating, we've all got our different styles, which is great. It's what it works as well. Sometimes you want that kind of, comedian straight man. Sometimes you want a more focused. Sometimes you want a more descriptive. For those that are listening, because those that are listening are going to want different things. They want to hear Scott Sword talking about this because I want to know more about this card and how it works. And other people might just want to go, right, it's on in the background, I'll stick it on. I've got 2 Scottish fucking idiots talking bollocks for 2 hours. But everyone, there's a place for everybody to listen to it. And I think that's what's good. The content for the spectators, which is what we are, certainly the YouTube side is you guys, you content creators, which you all are. It's about what do the audience want to see, and make sure that it's, I mean, not directly, because obviously it's based on just showing the games, but it's more about, okay, well, if I do it this way, then I get more views if I do that. So you can work out where there is something out there for everyone, as they say.
Absolutely. I think we've dragged this out long enough. It's over 2
Yeah,
hours.
no,
I
I'm
think
thinking-
I think everyone's. I think the minute you say the word "cunt," everyone's just left. So.
Is that all it takes? Brilliant.
I think so. Just poor Snuff is just here on his own. I think he's trying to work too, which doesn't help. Poor guy. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna stop this. People are gonna be looking at this video going, I don't want to watch this game. It's 2 hours long. Are you mad? It's only been an hour. Oh dear. Right. Roscoe,
good.
thank you for joining as always, and thank
Yeah.
you very much for going solo when I had to go AFK. I'm gonna listen back to this and see what amazing things you came out with.
Well, I'll listen back too because I can't remember what I said. But no, I enjoyed it, mate. It's always fun jumping on, and again, it's the dynamic duo like it used to be. So, the game. I'm sorry the game didn't go your way. I was obviously backing for Geo, but it is what it is for WcKaczek. Congratulations, won a match, so that's there. So the
Yeah,
pressure's now
good
back on you to beat
Yep,
Backstab
indeed.
at the weekend.
Yeah, I've got to use all my experience to my advantage here and get a win. And then we'll see what happens in the remaining 2 weeks of the tournament. Yeah, it's yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well played to WcKaczek. Geo, I'm going to talk to Geo just now. Poor guy, he's probably sitting there going, why is my teammate? Why has he abandoned me? I'm really sorry, Geo. I will talk to you now.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I've upset my sensei. He doesn't want to speak to me anymore. That's it. I've been thrown out. I've been thrown out. He's looking for a new partner. But anyway, I'm going to go and leave you to sign off, and I'll catch up with you over the weekend, mate.
Sounds good. Take care, bud. And everybody who's watching, thank you very much for making it to the end. If you're watching this at the end, well done. I don't know where that conversation came from, but it did. Thank you everybody in chat. Snuff, Strider, Quincy, a Rook earlier on. Thank you so much for tuning in. And WcKaczek, I think, made a comment too. Thank you very much for coming in and saying hello. Really appreciate, obviously, all you guys coming out and watching the game, either if it's live or after the fact. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you very much. Feel free to leave any comments and likes and things. There'll be more. Keep an eye out on the channel. There'll be way more games. Keep, go if you haven't, go and subscribe to everybody. You can find their links in the description. Give them some love. And I will see you in another video, either live stream or a normal recording of Fury of Dracula very soon. I've got my match against Backstab on Saturday at 4 PM UTC. So that's, what, 12 PM Eastern Time? Noon? So, yeah, you can find out that. I don't know if there's a game tomorrow. I don't think there is. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you all. And I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye-bye.